welcome to the Indie Sundays here with the Goody Awards and all of that. I haven't figured out the best way to say that phrase yet, so I'm still working on that. If you have any ideas, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and drop in the chat here as we get some of you guys in here. Um, if you're listening to me and you get bored with what I'm saying, which hopefully you don't, but if you do, you know what? I can respect that. I want you to think about the answer to this question because we're going to be talking a little bit more about music videos today as we get closer to the VMAs. What is the best music video you have seen so far this year or towards the tail end of last year? And you can just go ahead and drop it in the chat as we'll talk about that later because it's going to be part of the conversation. But we're going to get right into some headlines here. So let me do this cool little, we're going to talk about headlines. We're going to talk about headlines here of what's been going on since we last talked, since the last Sunday stream. And I've got some fun little graphics for you. So let's get into it. Okay, well, first of all, we're talking about the VMAs. The schedule for that. Oh no. The date for the VMAs has switched. So it was going to be on September 10th, but it is now on. It has moved because they scheduled the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on September 10th. So now the date is different. So it's going to be on September 11th. So that's like a fun, auspicious date. So we'll see how that goes. But they've also announced some of the performers at the VMAs. And so we got Camila Cabello, Chappell Roan, Let's Go, Glorilla, Rao Alejandro, and Sabrina Carpenter have announced to be playing at the VMAs. So that'll be something that we get into. Some of these folks are going to be playing at the VMAs later next month, so September 10th, less than a month away. So that is some news coming on. Also, Olympics wrapped up. I don't know if you were tracking the Olympics at all, but Billie Eilish and the Red Hot Chili Peppers performed at the Olympics closing ceremony, so did some stuff there. And then let's get into some quick movie stuff. Quick movie tangent. We won't be spending too much time on movies this week, but there was a couple of movie things that happened. Biggest movie news this week was Alien Romulus came out, and it seems to have been doing pretty well. If you have seen this movie and you enjoyed it, let me know. If you've seen this movie and you hated it, let me know. I have not had a chance to check it out. I was traveling this week, but Alien Romulus is out and seems to have gotten some good reviews from what I've seen around, but maybe it's no good. Also out this week as sort of a re-release, Coraline in 3D. So I'm gonna have to go check this out because I've never seen Coraline. If you got any Coraline fans in the chat, let me know. Also, if you drop it in the chat, if you drop something in the chat during the discussion today, you could be in the YouTube video that I'll put up from some of the conversations we have today later this week. So I put up a video of talking about Kneecap last week up on the Goody Awards YouTube channel. So if you want to be in the video, you leave a chat and you'll be part of the conversation. So something to think about. All right, so that was Coraline was out as well this weekend, re-release. If should I go check out this movie? If so, let me know. And then one other little piece of movie / music news is Tron Ares, the third little Tron movie coming out next year, is going to be scored by 9 Inch Nails. The core members of the band, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, have done many films before, including like Social Network and Challengers, one of the best movies of the year. If someone even say the best movie of the year, okay, we'll talk about that. But this movie will be the first score attributed to 9 Inch Nails, the band themselves, which those two are just a part of. So that is some a little bit of a movie tangent there, as it's more of a music news focused thing this week. So talking about some of the headlines, let's go ahead and get into a couple of the albums that came out as we're hitting some of these headlines. A couple of the albums that came out this weekend that I wanted to highlight for you. Starting with Paradise State of Mind. This is by Foster the People. There we go. Paradise State of Mind by Foster the People was out this week. It's pretty good, funky little album. But then we also had F1 Trillion, this Post Malone album. My boy Post Malone. I was looking forward to this for a minute to be like, okay, well, what's this album going to be like? Some of the singles have been doing pretty well, but this F1 Trillion album is out right now. So he did with this album. It's fairly fine. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good, solid little country album. But it was very interesting because he released the album on Friday or whatever, when all the music comes out, and then it has like a couple songs that are just him, but most of the songs are collaborations with other artists like Morgan Wallen or Blake Shelton or Chris Stapleton or Dolly Parton and so on and so forth. But then he also released, which generally I'm not a fan of, just like the same weekend releasing a sort of deluxe version. He released F1 Trillion The Long Bed, which has like 9 more songs and brings it up to like an hour and a half, the full double album. But the extended version, let's see if it has extended version here. No. Okay. So you've got also this Mexico song is pretty fun. So you should check that out. So it's got 18 songs on the bass album, which is about an hour long, but it's so it's a lot of country music. But you got a lot of people in here. But then on the here we go, Long Bed. On the Long Bed version, you have the second album that is just like his. And I wonder, like, I wish I was like in the studio when they were putting together. Did like he write this whole country album with just his songs, and then like they use that to get some of these people in because they're like, well, let's see if we can get people on. And then they did, and they're like, well, we got to put those on the main album. I don't know. I think this solid little album. If I do think it's good to listen to this disc 2 here because you really get a chance to. There's some good songs here for one thing, and then you really get a chance to listen to Post Malone doing country, which is what I wanted to listen to on this album. And so, on the bass album with all the features, it's really focusing on all these other artists and giving them time to do their thing. But it was cool to see Post Malone just be a little creative on this little second album. So I do think it's worth a listen. I honestly maybe listen to, if you like one of these artists, listen to these songs, but then check out this. Just listen to this and just see what, like, if you don't listen to anything else, this is like half an hour. You can listen to a 30-minute album, so would recommend that to you. Just giving Post Malone some love because I think he's a cool guy. I didn't know he had a kid, and now I know that, which I learned from listening to this album. So you can learn things from listening to albums. This is what we've learned. Okay, and then the last album I want to highlight that came out this weekend, Indie Darling. We got Pompoko, their album Champion. Now, you may not have heard of this band before. That's why it's the Indie Darling. This is what we're revealing to you, that you should check this album out. Is that now the singles leading up to this, wasn't too big of a fan of them. None of them really hit with me. But the big thing is that listening to this album, seeing it all come together. That's where it really clicked for me. That I was like, okay, because I've listened to some of the music before, but then I was like, okay, hearing it all together, hearing the whole audio experience, I was like, okay, I do think this is a nice little album to listen to. So those are a few of the albums that came out this year. So we had some movies and some of the albums coming out this year. Let's hit a bit more news. This is sort of some general media news that I saw that TikTok, you got the TikTok, you got TikTok on your phone. TikTok now has group chats. So this is, if you're sending your TikTok videos before, you've had to send them like in just an iMessage or messaging or whatever, but TikTok now has group chats. And I don't have TikTok, but maybe you guys do. Have you used this yet? Have you used this direct messaging feature to make group chats or anything like that in your TikTok app? I'm interested to sort of see how this goes. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I have group chats on Instagram where we just send each other reels all day and stuff. So it makes sense that they would do this. Kind of surprised that they haven't, but I'm not on the app, so I was not aware that they did not have it. But they're adding it, so you spend even more time on TikTok, which that's really what you need. And speaking of people adding media groups, adding new stuff to their sites, SoundCloud has added a shop, SoundCloud store, to their thing. So if we're talking about like indie artists and everything, now you can sort of do a merch shop through SoundCloud. Now you do have to be a Sound Pro member, which is like $8.25 a month, and you have to apply to be in the merchandising program. So you have to go for an application process. So it's not just like an automatic thing, but 100% of the profits, it says, will go to the artist. So yes, that is something that that they've been up to over in the media space. And speaking of people adding stuff to music things or adding music things to stuff, Duolingo has also added some more songs to their music program. So if you didn't know that Duolingo did a little music course, they have got one going, and they've added some new songs from Hosier and more artists. Because I think it was Sony Music allowed them to use some of their stuff. So it's they've got artists who are under Sony Music are now in the Duolingo music course to do some of that. I have not looked at the Duolingo music course, so I don't know what that all entails. But that is some news going on with that. Let me see. Last little bit of headlines before we get into one of our. We got. Let's see. What are our main topics tonight? We got two topics tonight that I want to hit. Two topics tonight. In addition to our headlines, and the as we're wrapping up the headlines here. Oh, two little things. So Katy Perry has been, has had a bit of a week. So she's dropped this early in the year for release of her album 143. She dropped that Woman's World song and music video, which has not given her much of a has not done her too many favors. People have kind of dogged on her a little bit, sort of piled on her and said like, "Whoa, this is pretty cringe," which it kind of is. And but this week she came out with a let's see, it was announced that she would be the receiver at the VMAs coming up September 10th of the 2024 Video Vanguard Award. So she is going to. I think they even let me see. Let me share this tab. So it's the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. So they've named it after Mr. Mike Jack, and Katy Perry is going to be receiving it. So that was announced last week. So in addition to also Katy Perry news is her music video Lifetimes, which is you can see right here. Oh, look at this nice little beautiful beach that she's filming it on. That's so cool. Wait, but actually it's not cool because it turns out that she filmed this music video, this Lifetime's music video in Ibiza without clearance. So now she's under investigation from, I guess, the Ibiza police. I don't want them after me. So the Ibiza police are coming after her for filming in this location without, supposedly, allegedly, without permission. So those are some of our headlines. I see Caitlin has a. I discovered it the other day. It's so fun. Caitlin, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Oh, maybe the Duolingo music course we were talking about. If that is what it is, then I'm, props to Duolingo for trying to teach people music because people out here making music on people have all this access to music and making stuff. But if it's bad music, it just adds more stuff. That's how you get people like Katy Perry making bad music because they didn't take the Duolingo music course. This is it all comes together. So those are a couple of our headlines. Last headline is that Kendrick Lamar, the Not Like Us, is now the most streamed diss track in Spotify history. The one before that was Tupac's Hit 'Em Up, and now Not Like Us has over 647 million streams, which is about at the time was about 6 million more than Hit 'Em Up. Now, of course, Hit 'Em Up came out before the time of the internet and Spotify, so it was quite impressive that Hit 'Em Up had such a large number already. But now it is has been surpassed by Not Like Us, which is the best-selling song of 2024. However, it is still not certified by RIAA, which gives you your certified gold, certified diamond, certified platinum, all those certifications. It's still not certified, so we gotta wait for the certification. When that happens, I will let you know right here on our headlines segment. Oh, and I see Caitlin that Duo Music is what you checked out. So yeah, if you have Katy Perry's number, Caitlin, make sure to send her that Duo Music course, and hopefully she will get better. And also, if there's a marketing course on Duolingo, maybe send that to her too. Maybe it could be a good idea. All right, so, sorry, one last little thing of headlines I forgot I wanted to hit is the charts. The number one in the Hot 100 is a bar song by Shabuzi, and number one in the Global 200 is Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. And also, Chaperone and Brat have hit their peaks on the streaming albums. Chaperone, Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess has gone to number 3, and Brat went up to number 5 with the guest remix, Billie Eilish, helping it along. Okay, so let's get into our first big main topic of the day. We're going to be talking a little bit about the VMAs. I've dropped in the chat. What is your favorite music video of 2024? Because the VMA period. Let's see. Let me switch over to this tab. Doo-doo. The VMA period for eligibility of songs is weird. It's from June 2023 to June 2024. So this means that you have some stuff that was last summer that came out last summer that is now being considered in the music videos for this year, and that includes something like "What Was I Made For" is technically, even though I would say like, oh, like that was like a last year thing. We've already like given the awards to that and everything like that. That is now a up for the VMAs this year. So which adds kind of a strange little uh, it feels a little backwards to have it be still considering music videos like that. It just feels like that's old news. Also, "Rush" by Troye Sivan was also released, interestingly enough, the same day as "What Was I Made For" music video. So those were two that they were both released on July of last year, July about midway through July, but they're up for this year at the VMAs, even though they're like over a year old. And something that is not in that I think should be in, just for music video of the year, is the "Not Like Us" music video. Even though the song came out earlier the year, the music video was not released until July 4th, and so it is not eligible because the period ended June 20th. So it is not up. So let's take a look here at what is up, because we talked a little bit about editing last year, and I got really into that. And then I put up the live stream, and then the copyright strike me because I was playing music, and so I had to take the stream down. So hopefully, this stream I'm not playing any music. So I would like to please copyright folks, please do not ban me, so I can keep the stream up and not have to edit it down to just a portion of it. But let's take a look at some of the main categories as we are less than a month away, even though they moved the date for the VMAs. So video of the year, we've got, man, so this is what I was talking about, where we have, and this is why I wanted to ask you guys what your favorite music video of the year so far is, because we have kind of a crummy selection. This is sad. We have Ariana Grande with "We Can't Be Friends," which is a fine song. These are all fine songs. Well, I'm thinking, are these all fine songs? Yes. Okay. I would say, yeah, these are all fine songs. Eminem Houdini. Okay. It is a fun song. I don't know if it's a fine song. But we can't be friends. That's a little fun thing. Lunch, Billie Eilish, off her album Painted Town Red. This is kind of weird because this feels old. You can see the music video was released in August of last year, so it's been a minute. But Snooze is also an older one. The music video came out last year. But Fortnite, Houdini, Lunch, and We Can't Be Friends all came out this year. So those are some of the newer ones. But it's kind of like this is kind of how the music videos go. As you, because there have definitely been like songs of the year. There have been songs. I mean, I would say even if we're looking at song of the year, right in this category, right next to it, is you have Kendrick Lamar, "Not Like Us," and I think that should win because I think that has been like the song of the year. It's been so big, and it's just a shame that the music video came out after the eligibility period, because then I would say like that's the video of the year. But we haven't really there. It will sort of go back and forth with the VMAs. That some years you'll have a music video that's like, well, of course that's the music video of the year. Like whenever Taylor Swift came out with her music video for oh, what's the song? It's the one that she made like the long video for the short film All Too Well. Whenever she came out with All Too Well, it was like, okay, that was like a super big music video. That was sort of in the conversation. That makes sense. Whenever Childish Gambino came out with "This Is America," that was like big. That one, that makes sense. There'll be a music video that's in the conversation that people are talking about. But this year, it just feels like there has not really been a music video in the conversation. There really hasn't been a big one, and that's why you get this sort of collection of kind of big songs, and some of the music videos have been kind of big. But like, it sort of seems like there's not really that big of a nothing stands out. So it's like you could give it to any one of these, but I don't feel like anyone would be quite right. I mean, they'll probably just give it to Taylor Swift. I think it's kind of boring. But or Ariana Grande, which I think would also be kind of boring. And I don't really want them to give it to Eminem because I don't like that music video. That music video made me dislike the song more. And the Billie Eilish music video is kind of fun, but it's kind of simple. And the Painted Town Red is just kind of old. I mean, so I'd probably just give it to SZA with Snooze. Like, I like that song, and the music video's interesting, but none of them really stand out. So that's kind of a disappointment. If you have a pick, and if I was to pick something, I would probably pick Troye Sivan's "Rush." I think that's a more interesting choice, but I think it's just older, so it's not in the conversation, and it's also kind of weird. or sort of not. I don't think it's weird, but I'm sure people would be like, "Oh my gosh, gay people like kissing each other? Oh no, we cannot have this for video of the year." Let's have Ariana Grande. No hate to Ariana Grande or stuff like that. So it's a little uh, eccentric maybe, but I think it's artsy, so I would put it in there. But I guess the VMAs just aren't ready for that. But I would maybe even put What Was I Made For? Because that is, I think, I would say that's a bigger video than Lunch. Uh, and then if it was in the period, I'd put Not Like Us. But because I think that's more the music video of the year than anything else. So we'll see where this goes. If you have a thoughts on, I mean, what do you think should be music video of the video of the year of these choices, or if you have one that's not on that list that you think should be music video of the year, drop it in the chat and let me know. And we're going to continue on through a couple of these other big categories. Song of the year. I think Not Like Us is the one to go with. I think it's the one will go with and they should go with. But if they went with like Espresso or something like that, then I'd be okay with that. Artist of the year, I think they should give it to Sabrina Carpenter because she's had such a big year. I think if they give it to Taylor Swift so if you just think about like artist of the year, even is that Sabrina Carpenter has been on the come up. And this whole past year, she had Feather, she had Espresso, she had Please Please Please, she had whatever that other one was that I can't remember right now. And I think that it is her time to give her artist of the year because I think she's been really big this year, and her music is actually doing well. And Taylor Swift is kind of just doing okay. So I think it should go Sabrina Carpenter. If they give it to someone else, I will be kind of disappointed. Best new artist, I think should go to Chappell Roan. I think also would be appropriate to give it to Shabuzi or Tyla. I would also be happy to see it go to Benson Boone as he's sort of more in the alt space. And then Teddy Swims or Gracie Abrams, I would be fine with too. I think this is a good best new artist lineup. I'm pretty happy with that. Skipping past a couple of these categories, but just pointing out that in here for push performance of the year, which kind of just seems to be. I was trying to figure out like what is the deal with this category, but I couldn't figure out any information on sort of what it means or why it's a push performance or what makes push performance good. But it seems like just like live performances that they've highlighted. So Benson Boone's In the Stars is one I would note. Chappell Roan's Red Wine Supernova from March, and then The Warning, which is like this Latin rock band. So kind of cool. And then skipping past some of these categories, to Video for Good, Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For? There it is. So they were aware of What Was I Made For, but they did not put it in. I guess they wanted to only give her one slot up there in Video of the Year. And then you also have Coldplay, Feels Like I'm Falling in Love, which is kind of a so-so song. So just wanted to hit some of those major categories for stuff at the VMAs that are coming up in less than a month here, and just have a little discussion there that I feel like we're in kind of a sad period of a sad year for the VMAs that I feel like nothing's too crazy. Though I feel like there have been good music videos, and I'm gonna keep looking leading up to it and see if there's anything that I've missed. I think even I was watching Megan Thee Stallion's Boa. I think is also a really fun music video that should be in here. I think that would be fun, but I think maybe it just didn't hit the heights of something like that. It didn't hit the heights enough to get in there and get enough numbers or enough people putting it in the nominations. All right, so that is our category, first big category. Now let's hit our second category as I get this lined up as we transition from music videos to what do I want to talk about next? Let's talk a little bit about, have you heard of the president? Yeah, well, a former president, Barack Obama, released his list. I don't want that. Transitioning real quick here between things. Well, just giving you some time. This is your chance. This is like your ad break to go like run to the bathroom while I'm getting the next thing pulled up. Though, I mean, technically, I guess you could use the bathroom while we're doing this, and I would never even know. If you're using the bathroom right now, drop it in the chat. I'm not the bathroom, of course. Just drop the fact of what you're up to. And I'll take we'll take a poll of like what everyone's up to, and I'll add it to the data set. Okay, cool. I got this pulled up. So Barack Obama, he's still out here doing stuff? Yes, he is. So he has released his list for his summer playlist of what he's been listening to. With summer winding down, I wanted to share some songs that I've been listening to lately, and it wouldn't be my playlist if it didn't include an eclectic mix, which, yes, it is quite the eclectic mix. I hope you find something new to listen to. So I've been listening to this a little bit as I've been going around. I'll show you it in, uh, let's see, let's share this tab. So here's a closer look at what he's got on here. We got Shabuzi. Oh my goodness, he's having a Brat Summer with Charlie XCX. I wonder if I wonder like how he finds these people because they're big or whatever. But like, is it like Kamala Harris say like I'm having a Brett Summer, or he saw all this stuff and he was like, well, what does that mean? And then he like went and listened to Charlie XCX. I mean, it could be the case. And then you've got Billie Eilish on here. I like the way you kiss me. Million Dollar Baby. Oh my goodness, these are songs that I've been plugging throughout the year, so I'm happy to see some of this. It's got some older stuff on here too. Interesting to sort of see something from the Poor Things soundtrack. That's interesting. Um, Old stuff with the Rolling Stones, Sweetie on here. Nora Jones came out with an album earlier this year. I'm happy to see Willow on here, and that Miles Smith Stargazing song that's been doing pretty good on TikTok and such things. Here's a little Boo thing. And yeah, and there's his list of from Barack Obama. His list. Let me switch over to. Let me switch the category. There we go. Obama's playlist. Okay. And then yeah, so Obama's playlist is that's what he's got going on. And you may ask yourself, okay, well, this is a very eclectic list, like he said in his tweet. Is this like, does he actually, like listen to all these things? And because I was wondering the same thing. I was like, okay, well, is he tuning in, and has he listened to all these albums? Has he listened to all these things? And I was a little skeptical. And if you are skeptical as well, let me know. And oh, I see. Sorry, I see in the chat. So Evie is cleaning, and I am her audio companion. Good to be your audio companion while you're cleaning. And like I said, if anyone's using the bathroom right now, that is totally illegal. I will not call the cops on you. So if that is something that you choose to do, okay, that is okay. But good to know what you're up to while you're listening. Okay, but let me play you a little bit of this video from Hassan Minaj, and about he asked with this let's see, this was from like a year ago. He asked right off the bat a question to Barack Obama about the same thing that I'm wondering today.
Your team might be mad that I'm putting you on the spot like this, but I need you to look me in the eyes.
Yes.
And be honest with me.
Always.
Mr. President, when you do your end of the year lists,
yes,
do you really read all those books, watch all those shows, and listen to all those songs?
I do. Listen.
Oh, no, you don't.
I am so glad that I had this opportunity.
Please.
People, they believe the books and playlists. They somehow think, and this is mostly coming from young people like you.
Yeah.
Somehow y'all think you invented rock and roll.
Young
You
people like
invented
me.
hip hop. And so the fact that my lists are pretty incredible. People seem to think, well, he must have had some 20-year-old intern who was figuring out, this latest cut. No, man, it's on my iPad right now.
You have Life is Good by Sir featuring Scribs Riley on your iPad right now?
Come on, man. Don't play with me.
Okay.
Huh?
All right, let's cap it. Let's raise the rim a little bit. Give me the plot line for Afterlives by Abdul.
So then he goes on and keeps talking about other stuff. But so there he says that he does actually listen to the stuff. He says, though I do think he has a little bit of he shows his age a little bit by saying he listens on his iPad. So we got him there, folks. That he is actually old. He listens on his iPad and not on his phone like us Zoomers. So that is his playlist. But I do think it's a good playlist if you have a chance to listen to it. Obviously, there's so much variety on here. And he says that he does listen to all this stuff, but I do think it helps get curated by someone who's helping curate things. Be like, oh, like, I don't know that the curation is all his own. I'm sure there's lots of he listens to a lot of other stuff that is more of a bigger genre thing that shows what he generally like always listens to. But I do think there are things he listens to and is aware of or has listened to maybe once or twice. But some of the stuff it's like oh, you really got O Quarto from Poor Things on repeat? Sure, dude. Okay. So, but I'm sure he has listened to it at one point and enjoyed the song. So that is Obama's playlist, and if you want to check it out, I'll put a link up on the Goody Awards Instagram that you can go to that directly, or you can just search Obama's playlist 2024 on Spotify, and you'll find the list of everything that's going on there. Okay, so that was our second topic, and now we're going to go to. There's actually I said we are only two big topics tonight, but I'm going to hit you with one more topic, and let me actually make a ad break that you can go and as I'm doing the transition here, that you can go and do whatever you want to do. That maybe if you have to take a quick 30-second call, this is your chance to go do that, because I'm going to switch over to this new title, this new category, because we're going to be talking a little bit about we were just talking about a former president. Let's talk about another former president, Mr. Donald. Is it Donald J. Trump? Is that actually what it is? I can't remember. And playing music at rallies. That's what we'll call this. Because, whenever you go to a rally, if you've ever been to one, you like to play some music to hype up the crowd. Donald Trump likes to do this. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will also do the same type of thing. But Donald Trump has been getting in some trouble because he's using music at the rallies without permission, and the artists don't like it. A big one, he's been using this song by Isaac Hayes, who was not an artist that I had heard of before, but he has this song, Hold On, I'm Coming, which I guess Donald Trump is using to hype up the crowd to be like, hold on, I'm coming, I'm making a comeback, which, are you though? Okay, we'll see. But he's been playing this song, and he doesn't have permission. So the Isaac Hayes estate is like, hey, I don't want you to use my song as sort of your theme music. So his estate is suing them for $3 million in licensing fees. So we'll see how that's who's getting sued this week. Mark it down. That's who's getting sued is Donald Trump, or they're threatening to sue at least. But other people, I was looking at the list. Okay, who else has told Trump that they don't want him to use their music? Well, the list is quite long. You have Prince, Tom Petty, Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco, Adele, Bruce Springsteen, Phil Collins, Pharrell Williams, Nickelback, and more. Celine Dion even Trump played a video of My Heart Will Go On at a rally in Montana, and then here is what afterwards this was put out on Celine's Twitter. So I think her team must have posted this. She said, today we became aware of the unauthorized usage of the video recording, music performance, and likeness of Celine Dion singing My Heart Will Go On at a Donald Trump J.D. Vance campaign rally in Montana. In no way is this use authorized, and Celine Dion does not endorse this. And then they got a little sassy here at the end and said, and really, that song, which I don't know exactly where they were coming from and saying that, like, My Heart Will Go On, to be like, really, that song? Now, personally, I think that My Heart Will Go On is not a fun song to listen to, but people out here love this song. People out here ride and die for My Heart Will Go On and say it's one of the best ballads of all time or something like that. But I assume it is saying that it is a little cringe for them to be getting in their feels and being like, don't worry, My Heart Will Go On, and we will ride through and continue to win this election, and then be weird and make bad policy decisions. I don't know, kind of just something to think about. So that is something that's been going on. So it's just a question of when this thing is happening. Whenever you're an artist, I mean, how would you feel? And drop it in the chat if you have a thought. How would you feel if someone you did not like was using your art? That's the question. If someone you did not like was using your art sort of as like a theme music, now obviously if it's like a show or something like that, they have to get permission, or else you can be like, hey, that's copyright infringement. You can't do that. Just like the stream last week, that it was copyright infringement apparently. So I can't have it up. They said people are very protective about their music. So it's surprising to me that more of these people have not sued or threatened to sue to be like, hey, don't do that. Cease and desist. Because I feel like there must be some law that you can actually, as long as they don't say anything, that you can get away with it, which is kind of crazy to me. It seems like if you're doing something at a campaign rally, I guess it's where like this gets into the conversation of okay, well, what is sort of American ability to you know you, imagining a situation where you have some like grassroots program or grassroots campaign, and like you have this person who like doesn't have a bunch of money who's running and like can't afford to have the song or whatever. Like maybe it's like, well, they should be able to play whatever song they want, whatever they're campaigning, or be able to do whatever they want with their campaign because like anyone should be able to run, and they don't have to be someone famous who can get in contact with these people. But obviously, that's not how things work. And obviously, if they wanted to get permission, they could just reach out and ask them. And it's not like anyone who's running for president anyway doesn't have a bunch of money that they could figure something out like that. So it seems like they're just taking advantage of the system that something like that is. There must not be a law on the books, and so they only get in trouble if the state asks them to cease and desist. Because I guess like if you're just playing like a song at like a local thing, like no one's ever going to come after you. But if you're playing a song at your local event, your local gathering, and it's like a KKK rally, if I was the artist, I'd be walking up and be like, no, 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 I'd probably be a little more pressed than that. But I think it's and these are obviously not just simple at home events. These are like big rallies where they're trying to get people on board. And I would rather not be a theme song for something that I disagree with. So I totally understand the artists not like that. Evie says I'd charge them through the wazoo. I would too, because I need, especially the struggling artists. They're taking away all the Spotify. Spotify's taking away all their money and all these other things. That's a quick way to get some money, to get a little revenue for that month. You can buy like a new car or something. I would just, that is something I think we should do. If Donald Trump's such a successful businessman, got all this money, just sue him and take his money, and then keep using my song. I'm gonna keep suing you. Just like someone keeps, whoever's like an intern, slip all these like these things on his desk, these fun like pump up songs, and then people will sue him, and then they'll get a bunch of money. That's the type of business thinking that will get you far in this country. So that's a little bit of what's been going on with that. So a little silly of what that's going on. But it's crazy to me that they just keep doing it. They keep playing songs of like you could make a whole playlist of like banned music from Donald Trump, like songs that they played and then the artists. There was one earlier this year, I can't remember who it was, but there was someone earlier this year that also did the same thing, that was like, hey, don't use my music. You don't have permission to use my music. And then I guess they stopped playing it. I think maybe it was Bruce Springsteen. I can't remember. Yeah. So someone out there, maybe I'll put it together, of like banned music from that, like music you can't play at a Donald Trump rally. So that is that's that last little topic of what's been going on this week. So people are coming after, who's going to sue this week? It's Donald Trump, or threatened to sue, technically, I suppose. So that's a bit about what's been going on this week. And in music stuff and in music topics here on Indie Sundays, we've been streaming for about 40 minutes here, wrapping things up here on the stream, just talking some general topics or whatever. I'm didn't have time to watch too many movies last week, but I am back. I'm done traveling for the time being, and so I'm back, and so I'm going to be locked in on watching things and listening to things. So if you have any recommendations, or if you have any thoughts, about what you anything I should check out, any albums or movies or anything, if you watch Alien Romulus and you enjoy it, if there's some music related topic in Alien Romulus, maybe the alien starts to sing, and that's something that you want me to check out and talk upon, let me know, and I will do that, of course. You can just send me a message on the Goody Awards Instagram. Send a message it's at Goody Awards on Instagram. It's also at same at as it is on YouTube. So if you're listening to it right now, you can find it on Instagram and you can follow it. And you can send me a message there, and any other music topics that you see going on. Also, if you think about something that you think should be up for video of the year, I will mention that on next week's stream. I see Aurora saying, yes, I'd listen to a band music playlist. Okay, so I might have to come up with something. So follow the Instagram. I'll come up with something later this week, and I'll post it up there of music that you can't play at a Trump rally. That's what we'll call it, something like that. So, all right, well, thanks for tuning into the stream. This is about about what I want for the timing. We go from 6 to about 7-ish, about 45 minutes or so. If it's longer, we'll go longer. If not, hey, I'm not going to keep you around. I'll let you go off and do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back next week. And until then, just follow the the YouTube, follow the Instagram, and I'll keep you updated on anything that's going on. But otherwise, we'll be back here next week, 6 to 7 p.m. Should be the plan to be here. Sidewalk Film Festival is going on in Birmingham, which I'm close to, so I might go to that. But we'll figure something out. I'll keep you posted either way on the socials. So, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Listen to some great music. Hope you're having a good indie Sunday, and we'll be back next week to talk about what's happened this week.